Hi, this is Pastor Paul Day from Stevens Ave Congregational Church with a brief reflection for Palm Sunday evening and Monday of Holy Week. I'm reading from Mark chapter 11, verses 11 through 21. Mark tells us that after the Palm Sunday procession, Jesus entered Jerusalem and went into the temple. And when he had looked around at everything, as it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. On the following day, when they came from Bethany, he was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to see whether perhaps he would find anything on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. He said to it, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard it. Then they came to Jerusalem. Jesus entered the temple and began to drive out those who were selling and those who were buying in the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. And he would not allow anyone to carry anything through the temple. He was teaching and saying, "Is it not written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations,' but you have made it a den of robbers." When the chief priests and scribes heard it, they kept looking for a way to kill him, for they were afraid of him, because the whole crowd was spellbound by his teaching. And when evening came, Jesus and his disciples went out of the city. In the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree withered away to its root. Then Peter remembered and said to him, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree that you cursed has withered." The cursing of the fig tree and the cleansing of the temple are what we might call acted out parables of Jesus. It was for the disciples that Jesus cursed the fig tree, and they took notice. It was an acted out parable of what Jesus had told them so many times, that they needed to bear fruit in their own lives. You see, the fig tree was in full leaf. It was giving all of its energy to the production of leaves and none to the production of fruit. In the same way, a gardener judiciously prunes the greenery away from a tree or flowers in order to produce more blossoms and more fruit. We might perhaps wonder if the current COVID-19 pandemic could be used as a way of pruning our lives so that we might bear more fruit spiritually. The Apostle Paul tells us the kind of fruit that we are looked to. It's called the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That's what it means to be fruitful in our own lives. And the cleansing of the temple was a reminder that God's house, God's church, was to be not a place of commodities, not of buying and selling and traffic, but a house, above all, a house of prayer. And during these days, the church, scattered throughout our own homes, is primarily a house of prayer, as we pray for ourselves, our families, our loved ones, our neighbors, those in the front lines in the fight against the pandemic. All of these, we are doing what God has called us to be, bearing fruit in our lives and being a people of prayer. May God bless you now and throughout this Holy Week. Amen.